that's going to be tuning in tonight. This is the Vintage House Series Aftershow Spotlight. My name is DJ Rocky. Now, normally I usually play music, but with this being Women's History Month, I thought it would be nice to switch it up just a little bit and give you guys uh, a person that I admire 100% and is an incredible DJ, incredible person, period. So I am proud to introduce everyone to DJ Patty Kane.
Hello.
Hello. Good evening, Miss Kane. It is absolute wonderfully to talk to you as always. We're gonna um, we're gonna start this off with before we go into the history of Patty Kane. I want to uh, get a little introduction of you, basically where you are right now, and if you could just a little synopsis of Patty Kane today.
Okay. Patty Kane today is CEO and owner of House Royalty Records. She is president and co organizer of Women on Decks. She is CEO and sole proprietor of DJ Patty Kane House Royalty.
Okay.
And I am mentor to Women on Decks Women on Decks Nurturing the Youth contest winner from last year,
Cool.
our musician, and her name is Kamara Ross, who now works for our label part time.
Okay. So is she a DJ or a musician or
She is a musician
okay?
looking into going into the production side. She wanted to learn about that.
Okay.
She was able, part of her contest winnings was to produce her own song, every track. So
Okay.
she did. She played almost all of the instruments. She did all of her own vocals.
Oh wow.
Um, I showed her, being a novice myself now, but
Okay.
I showed her everything that was shown to me, how to do her own arrangements, how to add her own musical effects. So, for the most part, the production was all hers. Of course, I added a little bit of things that I was taught to make the sound marketable.
Okay.
Now we just need to clean it up, get it mixed and mastered so it can go out for sale.
Cool. Okay. So now we know who you are now. So now we need to know how Patty Kane came to be. So um, give me. I mean, again, we've known each other now for probably about 8 9 years. I'm not. Um, I actually came to see you DJ in Miami. I forgot
Right.
what the set was, but you were all the way up on. Oh God, I can't remember the name of the place, but it was.
Oh, we were at the, oh gosh.
Yeah, it was.
Uh,
It wasn't down into the strip. You were DJing.
no.
Yeah. See, and I forgot what you were part of a group. I can't remember the group at the time. But
Yeah, I don't know if we had a name at the time, but there were four of us,
right.
and we played in the registration lobby.
Yes.
And I can't, was it the
Oh no
DeVille?
no 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 no. This was actually like I don't know if it was a release party or something.
Oh, I know.
Yeah
In the
yeah
jazz lounge when I
yes
played with the group from Italy. Yes, yes, yes. I
exactly.
do
Yeah,
remember that. Yes, yes,
that's
yes.
when I that's when I heard you.
Yes,
Got
that was House
introduced to
Station
you.
Radio. Yes.
Yes, absolutely. There you
Yes,
go.
those were
So
the guys from Italy. Oh, yes.
right. So
I thought you saw me
that
before
was
that.
my
Yeah.
first introduction of you. So
Yes.
and again, um, I'm a lover of music. So anybody that can get up there and do what they do, I have the utmost respect for. However, I was, and again, I give credit where credit is due. I don't think of you as a female DJ because
Good.
that's an isolation.
Right.
I think of you as a DJ, and your talent is exceptional. So I don't. come across as like, oh man, I know this female DJ that lives on the East Coast. No, I know a DJ lives on the East Coast. She just happens to be my sister,
Right.
but she throws down with the best of them. So anyway, back to you. So tell me how Patty Kane came to be.
Well, as quiet as it's kept, I've been studying music since I was about 6 or 7. So I can read it, I can write it. Um, yes, there is an instrument that I will not mention.
Okay.
Uh, no, I won't. Um, so I've been doing this for a very long time. My parents spent some money, um, and it
Okay.
led to a lot of things. So I've been musically involved. It kind of runs in my veins. I really do bleed clef notes. I
Okay.
really do. So it's not anything new. When I first started playing, my cousin taught me. His name is Deep Master Ryan. He taught me how to play. I was always fascinated with it. The first person I ever watched DJ was Johnny Dangerous at a high school fashion show. Um,
Okay.
and I remember being so enamored by it. They were like, it's your turn. And I was like, but what's he doing? And they were like, he's playing music. I was like, yeah, but that's different. That's not what I do at home or my stereo at home. So that was my first introduction to DJing. I was about 16. And
Okay.
it wasn't until about 3 years later that I got the opportunity to learn how to do that.
Okay.
So that's who taught me. And I think that was 89, 88 or 89, I think.
Okay.
Um, and I started out doing weddings and private events, things for mayors and congressmen and things like that. And then finally, I got the opportunity to play on a internet radio show when it was huge. I played on a show called New Visions of Soul with my two biggest mentors. We call ourselves the Mod Squad. So that's how we met, and that's how I met a lot of people playing on there. And that's
Okay.
when I began to play publicly,
Okay.
and then it
So,
just
so
grew.
your grassroots start, of course, with personal. I mean, with private events first, basically. And I mean, you know, we we uh we all go through this time frame of when we can actually say, well, you know, my first time that I actually got out there and did this, that, and the other was, you know, I personally feel that when you get out there, you just really just practice, you just doing what you practice at home. A lot of people
Right,
just get caught up in, a lot of people get caught up in, oh my God, I'm playing in front of, oh my God, and they get nervous. I think the nervous, for me, it was always the nervousness of how do I, before I even go play somewhere, I'm nervous here. I'm not nervous. I've never been nervous to play in public because by the time I get there, I'm ready. So,
right.
um, I mean, okay, so how do you, do you, first of all, do you still get nervous when you play?
Yes,
Okay,
every time.
so
Every
every
time,
time?
yes. Every time,
Okay,
yes.
okay, all
Yes.
right. So,
I am never I am never bigger than this music. The music is always the star whenever you're playing. So when I'm playing, I'm always the background because
got
just me standing there is not the show. No one
got
hires me to just stand there. They to um, make the star the better star. So if I don't
gotcha.
make the star the better star, then I'm not doing what I'm supposed to be doing. So yes, every time
Okay.
I play, I get nervous.
So when you okay, so I know the private events was non-house. That's just where the events go to. Um, so the love of house, what generated that?
I can't explain it any other way than house is something that you feel. It's not, there is no finite description of it other than it's a place where you come together. There is harmony, there is peace, there's no discourse, there is this ability to be free regardless of what is going on. When I first got into let me correct that. When my father allowed me to first go out and be in a club setting, he said to me, I want you to be careful, but you're going there to enjoy yourself. So keep that in mind. So, of course, I was careful, which is, brings about a lot of things about why I do the things that I do when I'm out.
Okay.
But it was the most freeing. It was just, the liberation was indescribable without
Okay.
concern for my safety because I knew we were all there to watch each other.
Right.
And my first experience, uh, honestly, being in a club like setting where it was just music to dance to, I think I may have been in the 6th grade. And my dad let me go to a elementary school dance. I
Mm-hmm.
swear I feel like I was there 2 songs and then he was there to come and get me because my dad was really strict. But but even in those 2 or 3 songs that I was able to hear and able to experience, there was no concern about anything other than everybody having a good time. And I never forgot that. And then when I was able to just go as I pleased and as long as it was safe, the freedom of meeting people and networking, and my first experience out like that was at Paradise Garage, and everybody then just came to dance. I'm gonna be honest, I can say it now. Yep, I lied to get in. Yep, I lied to get my membership when the members told me they're having a drive. Come with us, we'll get you in. I did. My aunt helped me pay for it. I was in school. She sent me the money. She sent me the bus fare to get there, but it was well worth it. It taught me things about music, and it taught me that there are people from other walks of life and other places that enjoy this for a whole different reason. And it did something to my psyche and my personality that made me know and made me feel so comfortable in house music that for me there really is no other place to be unless it's business.
Gotcha. Oh, you know what? We didn't touch this first. Let's touch this first because people may not know where you're from. So I know where you're from, but you're from the Jersey, New York area, correct?
Yes. Yes.
So are you a Jerseyite or are you a Yorker? Which one are you right
I'm
now?
from the bricks. I'm from Jersey.
Okay. Okay. Good.
I'm from
Okay. So
Jersey.
now there's always been that ongoing battle between Chicago and you guys.
Yeah, that no. Let's
So
correct that.
um,
Between Chicago and Jersey because
well,
I'm
no,
not
it's actually because the New York thing, because they always say that it started there. But
well, okay. I'm gonna lay it down. I'm gonna lay it down from the
okay,
mouth of Frankie Knuckles. I sent
okay,
out this interview just the other day. Um, and the funny thing, let me just preface it with, I was looking for the year that he won his Grammy because thus far there have been many house music DJs or house music, and that's what we call it now. And I will
right,
give the credit where the credit is due. It was given that title in 1985 in Chicago. I was
okay,
looking for the date that Frankie Knuckles won his Grammy because many house music producers and DJs and things of that like have been nominated, but I believe he was the only one that actually received the Grammy. So that's what I was researching. And in my research, his interview from 1993, I think it was, kept coming up. So I read it because I remember listening to it when he did it. And he clearly stayed. I was born in New York. I was playing at a club called Soho with Larry Levan, and we used to make our mixtapes. House or club at the time is what it was called, derived from disco. Um, the opportunity to play at the warehouse was first offered to Larry, but they were already building the garage, and Larry didn't want to leave New York. So then they offered it to me. Now, this is what Frankie said. So I took it. So what I
Okay.
did was Larry infused the New York sound with disco and created what he did along with David Mancuso, T. Scott,
Mm-hmm.
uh, oh gosh, there were so many. T. Scott, Tony Humphreys, and the likes of
Yeah.
those. And what he said was, what I did, I wanted to sound just a little different and give Chicago a little different sound. So I infused disco with the European sound and created my own Chicago sound. So when the interviewer said, "So you say that you invented or you innovated this?" He said, "No, I did not. This was happening before me and others were doing it before me. What I did create is the sound that Chicago has, but this idea was here long before me. I have to give credit where
Okay.
credit is due." So the sound and the idea was not created in any one space, but it was not created, unfortunately, in Chicago. The name house music was created in Chicago in 1985 because the genre didn't have a name.
Okay. Okay. I, I'll respect that 100%. I think a lot of times we get caught up in saying where it started at and who did what. And
I don't
40
even
years
know if
later,
that really matters when it comes to this, though.
well, it doesn't really matter. It really doesn't matter to the dancer. It never really mattered to the party goer.
It
But
shouldn't matter to anybody at this
it
point.
shouldn't. No, you know what? You're right. It shouldn't. However, we also deal with egos, and that's not even just in this genre, but we deal with egos. And a lot of people want to say,
Agreed.
well, I was there when this, that, and the other, and you know, I my 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 whole house experience has always been like we said, where the music is the star, and not really
Always.
and not really who's playing it, but a lot of people who grew up in that time still have not grown up from that time.
This is
And
true
so,
too.
they always feel that I was there when, and I was this, that, and I was this, that. Music has been around before house music would be, well, house music will never stop, but it'll be here after house music. It's just we have
Right.
to, we, we, we get caught up in trying to be, I was the face in the place instead of,
Right.
what I'm saying? Instead of, do you remember when? I was here when. That's what, again. So we take it to an ego thing. So, um, if you had to, uh, because we all have mentors and we all have people that have, you know, been part of the experience that developed it into your mind that you want to do this. Um, who would you say was your influences in that aspect?
Was or is? Because
Oh,
that's
okay. Well, I put it this way. You can tell me is, but I want to hear the initial person. You can
the
actually go back
initial
and say,
person.
I heard this guy or this woman or this person play, and I was totally captivated by it.
Johnny Dangerous.
Okay,
Johnny
okay,
Dangerous. I was amazed. The flow and it was a fashion show and it was rehearsal, so it wasn't the continuous play. it was the in between. It was the breaks while, okay, let's fix the set. Everybody take a break. And everybody else was focused on the clothing and, okay, what this and how's that. And I was the only one looking up because he was in a balcony, which is what I'm used to. He was in a balcony. And I remember seeing him. Johnny is kind of short. And I remember seeing him going, what is he doing? That's
Right.
different. That's
Right.
not normal. That doesn't sound that way on my stereo at home. I have that song, but it don't sound like that.
Right. Okay.
That's what got me started. Like, how does that work? And I
Okay.
remember buying my first stereo, and my first, the first piece of vinyl I bought on my own was Baby Likes to Ride, and playing it. I'm like, this don't sound the same way it sounded in the club
Right.
at night. So I had to be taught that no, that those are not turntables. You need this. So that is where the influence came from. That's what started it.
Okay. Um, so um, currently, uh, who are your? Well, no, let's do it like this. So, who is your Mount Rushmore of DJ?
Wow. I don't think anybody has ever asked me that. My Mount Rushmore, I don't think it would be my Mount Rushmore because they are because of their DJ skills alone. It
Okay.
would be that plus their experience plus their wisdom, because there's so much more to DJing than just standing there and playing the music.
Absolutely.
It's not
Absolutely.
it's not a gimmick. I sweat through every set I ever play, even if I'm playing at home. If I'm preparing a set for something, I'm sweating through it because I believe that when you get something from me, I should be giving you my best. And I'm
Okay.
destroyed if I don't give you my best. It's pointless. So first and foremost, honestly, it would have to be my late brother-in-law, because he did this for such a long time, and he encouraged me to, you got a thing here with your production. You need to keep working at it and get better. Um, he also kept my mind on the fact that all money is not good money. So everybody that's offering you a gig is not offering you a gig to advance you. Um, and we thought a lot alike in a lot of aspects. Like, I am always like, house music is not about competition and anarchy. This is about free flow and peace. And that's why the music is continuous in the way that it is, so that the peace can continue to flow and everybody can stay together and be peaceful. And we had that same mindset. Like, when we all played together, we could have just got finished chewing each other's heads off. Once the music came on, all of that went away, and then we forgot what we were mad about a half hour ago.
Right.
Like, and he was that for sure.
Are you
So
talking about, are you talking about the same person that I would know personally?
I'm talking about
Oh
somebody.
yeah, right.
Honestly,
Okay.
that's the truth. So that is definitely on my Mount Rushmore. My teacher, of course, Deep Master Ryan, because you gotta have patience.
Right.
You gotta have patience to deal with me. And I gotta put my partner up there, my business partner. You gotta have patience to deal with me, because
Okay.
some days I'm like a squirrel. Some days it's squirrel for me. I'm on one thing and then squirrel comes and I'm somewhere else real quick. And then other days I'm real stoic and focused where I'm unbending, and other days where I'm just like, okay, whatever we do is fine with me. That's just me. Nothing, it's just that day. So,
Right.
and I know it, and I really try to be easy with it. So, those three, definitely. My adopted brother Sal, because I asked him some of the strangest tech things. He is a phenomenal unsung DJ. I think this man could DJ on a garbage can lid. Like, whatever I don't understand in this or how this piece of equipment works, hey, can you show me this? in a little while I can go and he can show me how to make it work or how to work it. So definitely him. I could probably be here for another 2 days because my Mount Rushmore is pretty long. I give credit where credit is due. You can't do this alone.
Absolutely.
Somebody has to show you something. Somebody has to propel you forward, and there are so many. Um, there are some women that I admire because they are humble. Like one of my all time favorites is that girl Curly. Her
Yeah,
energy walking in the room. Like even if you weren't having a good day, you're gonna have a good day when you walk in a room and she's there.
absolutely.
And there's another quiet storm here. Her name is Zion. I am ecstatic when she plays because she's so smooth yet so quiet. Like I like to watch those kind of people and learn and see how they move a crowd because everybody thinks differently.
Mm-hmm.
So those people, um, some recent additions to my list, of course, is Glenn Underground because his talent is amazing. Like he makes me sick. He plays so well. Like
Right.
that's annoying. Meanwhile, it takes me 2 hours to pluck one bar. He's put together 12 songs. So him. Um, oh gosh, CC Rogers also for pushing me out there. That was my first production on that scale. And then, if anything, I worked with Clive Davis for a lot of years. So there
Okay.
is no Mount Rushmore without him for me.
Got you. So okay, so you brought well you talked about my sister from another mister, Curly. So I am probably the biggest. I, I well, I'm the biggest non-scene supporter of this woman. I think she is. I can't. To me, there's not a word that you could describe her. She exceptional is exceptional is probably, and to me, it's an insult to her. I
No.
when I was doing my thing in Miami, she was my right hand on everything. I didn't even have to say something sometimes, and she would just be like, "Okay, I'm going to go over there." Okay, thanks, thanks. So, um, who do you listen to on the regular today?
As far as DJs go,
What DJ?
I don't have a listen to on the regular.
Oh, you don't? Okay,
No, and the reason I don't is because we're supposed to be growing.
okay,
So I listen to so many people from so many places for so many different reasons. Um, I listened to a Recording Academy interview today with John Batiste.
okay.
And he said something, he put something into words for me today that I've been thinking but couldn't get the words right. He said, the world is so much bigger than America.
Absolutely.
And it wasn't an insult. It
No.
was it was a affirmation like, okay, this week today, New York DJs are hot, so I'm listening to them. Next week is DJs in Croatia that are hot, so I'm listening to them to see what they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Next week after that, it's the DJs from Kyrgyzstan who are making a whole bunch of noise. So it depends on what is happening in the world and who is making the most beautiful music, the way I put it. That's who I'm listening to. So I don't have a regular.
Okay. Okay. I think that we are the second biggest community in the world outside of Christians, because there are so many of us, and I think and the greatest thing about this is that there is no limitation to what we can do.
Right.
You know, you know, you got people that play a certain way. You got another people that play this way, and each one of us are telling a story.
Right.
And I think the best thing about it is this is the way DJs play is the greatest storytelling in history because no one plays the same.
They
And they
should not.
no, they should not. But I mean, for the majority, I'll say for the majority, you can get a style. There's a difference between a style and the way you play. So I mean, I listen to a lot of DJs. So I do a lot where I want to hear your story and I want to hear how you play. So when time comes, like you could, like for example, when you're playing, I know how you play. I don't even have to look up and see. I don't have to look at the screen. Oh, that's Patty. Oh, that's Curly. That's so and so. I mean, we there's a certain thing that we do that imprints us for people to know. However, it is not in any way, shape, or form the same as or comparable to. So I think we do a lot where this is the biggest storytelling process out here. Um, uh, um, what was I doing? I was going to ask you a question. I can't remember the question now. So, um, so I know you do production as well. So what is the biggest part of the production that you see as key for it to be successful?
Uh, Gosh, so many factors comes into that. It has to make sense first and foremost.
Okay,
It it has to make sense. It has to be put together well, and it has to sound good.
okay,
For me, I'm not look. I don't look for a particular sound.
okay.
It has to. I always say it has to sit well in my ear.
Got you.
Um, and it has to sit well in my ear for me to listen to it, and it has to lay well on my heart for me to play it. Um, you have the staple songs that you need in certain situations, which I play, but it's not something that I would play when I get the chance to freeform.
Okay,
Those staple songs may be the ones that no longer lay well on my heart, or they may have never sat well on my ear, but they are necessary for this
venue.
situation.
Right. Got you. Yeah.
But a production for me to just, I need to have this. What is the name of that? It really has to speak to my soul. It has to capture me. It
Okay.
has to turn my head. And
Okay.
that's just for me.
No, I got you. No, it's clear. I mean, yeah, it's the I don't never ever claim myself to be a producer whatsoever. I mean, I do my own little thing where I want to have something that's just totally me, but
Right.
I would lose my mind half the time because I know I'd sit there and say, oh, get through with a song and be like, you know what? I used to start back from scratch.
Yeah.
Um,
Yes.
and yeah, see, and see, I know I'll be banging my head off the wall because, I sit and go through the things that I want to do, and I'll be like,
Now
yeah,
we have my partner and I, we have to tell each other, okay, stop touching now. Stop
right,
touching. That's
yeah,
enough.
see, and
Yeah.
I know I would lose my mind. I would
Yeah.
lose my mind.
It can get
Um,
there. It
yeah,
definitely can
exactly.
get there.
Um, there are some people in the chat room. I want to say hello to. Melody Diggs is here. Hello, Melody. Uh,
Ah,
you know, that dude, the other dude from Newark, New Jersey is there. I ain't gonna say his name. No, I'm gonna say his name because he's one of the best dudes I know.
excuse
DJ
me.
Jigsaw. What up, brother? Thank you for getting in touch with her as well. But uh, Ladybug, how y'all doing? Again, this is the Village House Radio Show in Chicago, Northwestern Radio, WNUR. Um, I am honored to have a person that I have the utmost respect for. So, DJ Patty Kane, she is House Royalty Records CEO. So, um, what are some? I'm not sure who. I can't see who is all in the chat room. Um, if you have a tip for a DJ, an up and coming DJ, they say, okay, you know what? Um, hi, Patty. My name is DJ Rocky. I'm just starting in the business of learning how to DJ. Um, tell me if you could tell me some stuff that would get me acclimated and get. I won't even say get to the status of where you're at, but at least to get some notoriety for myself. What would you tell me to do?
Um, First and foremost, I would say be consistent. That's very important. Um, Make people know who you are. And I say that, yes, you can use social media, but you have to use it wisely. Social media is not the answer to everything. You do have to go outside. Opportunities don't ring your doorbell. It doesn't know your address. So,
Those miles don't get fed. That's right.
right. Social media is supposed to be your gateway to the outdoors. Um,
Okay.
so when you get there and when you begin to grab a few people on social media who recognize you, you're supposed to go out and start shaking hands and kissing babies, as my partner always says. You
Mm-hmm.
have to meet people face to face. No one is going to come and see you. Play from your heart. Um, Play with confidence, even if it's wrong. Because the worst thing you can be is a insecure DJ. The DJ is supposed to command the dance floor regardless of popular belief. You tell the dance floor what to do.
Okay.
Um, and the only way to do that is to play from your heart because you'll only feel what you're playing if you play from there.
Okay.
And choose wisely.
Okay. Um, so if you could, um, actually, this is how I like to pick the mind of a DJ. So, in your head right now, if I ask you, what is the one song that you can actually say you're listening to on a regular right now?
Right now, it's gonna be my song "Dreamsicle" featuring me singing "Sister."
Okay. Well, see, I guess, well, I don't have that. So,
Hint taken.
uh, uh,
Hint
I,
taken.
uh, um, um,
Definitely.
um,
It dropped
uh,
for my birthday, March 12th.
okay. So, is
We
it that?
have
No. Okay.
I think this is number, I don't know. Jigsaw, you in the room? Put a number in. What number is this for us? 10? 8? This is number 8 for us.
Okay.
And
Okay.
we're excited. We like this one. We have another one coming. Our first single on the label actually was called Talk to Me. And we were blessed. We have a mix from Glenn Underground on that.
Okay.
So it was me, my partner, um, and Glenn Underground who
Okay.
did that. So I think this is. He said he wasn't ready for the pop quiz. I think it's number
Right.
8. I'm not sure. Um, but yeah, that's what I'm listening to on the
Okay.
radio right now. That is in
Okay.
my head. So
Okay.
please feel free to stop by the website, pick that up.
Yeah.
Shameless plug,
Now,
absolutely.
yeah. So, what is the website?
www.houseroyaltyrecords.com.
Okay. So
Or you can
now I know
pick us up on
everybody knows where to
Facebook.
go.
Yep,
And please, everyone that's listening, please support. I mean, we make this grow by the support that we do for each other. 100%. I mean,
yes,
it's the old saying, is if a tree falls in the woods and there's nobody there, how do you know it makes a sound? You have to be there. The same thing is
exactly.
when it comes to our music. If you like it, support it. At least now we know for sure either 8 to 10 times you can support House Royalty Records. So
Please and
um,
thank you.
absolutely, man, we're all about growth here. Well, I know I am.
Yes.
I have had the opportunity of meeting some of the people that are in your circle.
Yes.
And I have always had mad respect because you guys have always, because there has always been that consistency of support for each other, always.
Right.
Um, um, Shout out to DJ Savoy, rest in peace, brother. We miss you dearly. What you know? What made you click? And for the core people. So now again, I know there are people that I don't know that you know that
Right.
are in your core, but I mean the ones that I know for sure, you know, I talk to, and maybe not on a regular basis, but it's just a hey, how you doing? A check out, just let you know that I'm thinking about you. Um, what do you think is the core to the success that you have with your people?
Um, Space and understanding.
Okay.
And I don't mean space in a bad way. Like
Right. It never
sometimes,
is.
yeah, sometimes you need to you gotta let people live how they live all the time.
Right.
And you have to know when to read people and say, okay, you need a hug now.
Gotcha.
And those are your core people. The ones that are not your core people, you have to look at and say, okay, we can be cordial outside, but we're not good for, okay, you need a hug. We're just good for, are you all right? Do you need
Right.
something? Because that
Right.
is two different levels of care.
Absolutely.
And that's what works for my group. I'm not saying I'm the most difficult person in the group. I'm not. Am I difficult? Yeah. Yeah. But they understand me and I understand them.
Well,
We
I don't
talk
think
it out
anybody.
and we move on. So
I don't
that
think.
works.
Yeah, I don't think it's difficult. I mean, again, it's always multiple personalities in the same pot. Sometimes, you know, it will
Right.
mesh. Sometimes it won't mesh. And the understanding of times that it doesn't mesh is what makes the circle stronger because the understanding comes
Exactly.
after it. I agree.
Exactly.
Um, Dezuno said, correction, you have nine. I mean 11. Sorry.
Oh,
It said,
thanks, Des.
oh, yeah. Shout out to Des too. Soundproof, how
Thanks,
you doing
Des.
too? Um, so it's 11 songs. So now we know to go to houseroyaltyrecords.com and
Yes.
support. Please support this. This is big. Um, um, hmm, got my real good questions from. Okay. So, hmm, I I have always been a staunch supporter of people who love music, who just the different ways of the contributions that they make, be it a singer, a dancer, or a DJ, a producer, or uh, however, whatever their contribution is to the group to keep music going. Um, of all the hats that you hold, what do you think is the best one you do?
I don't know if I have a best. I think um I think each part that I contribute makes up a whole.
Okay,
Um there are a couple of parts that I kind of keep quiet also. Um
okay,
so I don't think there is one part of me that I put out as the best when it comes to this music. I think it takes a I have that it takes a village mindset. I
gotcha.
have to be able to hear it. I have to be able to feel it. I have to be able to hum through it. It just all has to fit. So there really is no best. Even when we're finished with the production, before I say, okay, I'm satisfied with it, I try to play it. Is this mixable? Even for somebody just coming into it, I always think that. Do you give them enough time to work this out in the beginning? Do they have enough time to work it out in the end? Is it a good piece put together? So it's a whole casserole of things for me.
Got you. Okay. Um, I also now I know that you have been involved. Well, I'm not. I don't know the status of it now, so I don't want to say you are or aren't. I know that you have been involved with uh, Glenn Underground and Dion Hunter.
Yes, the Get
Um,
Down Radio.
to
Yes.
get them on radio. So I'm not sure. I'm not sure the status of it and your status with it. So if you can explain it a little bit, so again, so people can understand that because just because of where you live does not determine how you influence the music. So.
And that is true. And so the Get Down came about. Dion started the Get Down Radio on Facebook, or the Get Down 8453.
Hmm.
And it was a place for the unsung to showcase themselves. But unfortunately, just like any other platform on social media, there were some people who kind of didn't want to share the space and didn't want to play by logical rules. So I asked Dion a question, and we had met maybe a year or so prior, like phone call, not just social media. And I asked Dion a question, and then I saw something, and I mentioned it to him in the question. And he asked me to assist him in monitoring the page because it was supposed to be, again, let's all come together, let's do this
Hmm.
house music in peace and love. And there were some who were not willing to do so. So some people had to be put in place, and I became first lady of the Get Down Radio. And
Okay.
when he brought me in, he brought Glenn in. And then we created groups and, time slots. Because when you have a page with 40 DJs on it, you can't have 40 DJs playing at the same time. So while
Okay.
it was a Facebook page, we tried to make it so that everybody got their chance
Opportunity, right?
to their opportunity to shine. So that's what the Get Down Radio was. I know they're restructuring because there was a goal in mind when they put the Get Down Radio together. Um, the thing about going public is when you go public, you get a lot of assistance
Unwanted. Right.
from the outside of the ring. But what you have to do is make sure that the inside of the ring is protecting its grill. So
Gotcha.
I know they are restructuring and actually working on the Get Down to get it to the goal that they expected.
Okay.
So that's where it is right now.
Okay. Lee Williams is on there. He says, "Hello, Patty." I'm not sure if you saw it or not.
Hey.
That's Mr. Majors, DJ Majors. So, what? Hmm, wow. So, if you had, okay, so let's say someone. I'm gonna give you a hypothetical. Someone has never heard house music before. They lived on an island. They've never heard it before, and they walk up into a room, and here's Patty Kane, and you're either DJing or you're listening to somebody else DJ. You might be listening to that dude, Jigsaw dude, but
Oh,
uh,
that guy.
that guy. Um, and the guy is sitting there and he says, "Hey, what is this?" And you say house music, and he says, "Well, what is house music? Give me what house music in a definition to you is."
And a definition to me, let me see. House music is that music that gives you that freedom to leave your tears on the dance floor.
Wow, that's a good one. Okay. Um, okay, so how does it differentiate from R&B?
Okay, so without showing my age, um, the R&B that
Okay.
spoke the best
Right.
was the rhythm and blues
Right.
that told you about what happened, what is happening, or what I'm going to make happen.
Okay.
I'm not quite sure if it's still there. I'm still on the fence about a lot of it,
Right.
but that's what it is. If you think about it, if you think about what BB King and Muddy Waters, and if you think about what those people spoke about, funny or not, it was about what happened.
Right.
If you think about the Betty Wrights and the Stevie Wonders and the Gladys Knights and the Shaka Khans, they sung about what's happening right now. And if you think about the Whispers and the Temprees and the Dramatics, they talk about in a very nice way what's going to happen later.
Right.
So that's the difference of rhythm and blues. They were very, that's what R&B is. It's very specific and it has a very direct conversation and it has a very specific meaning for what it was produced for,
Okay.
what it is supposed to do. House music um, allows you to release and be uninhibited. This particular song may do one thing for me and another thing for you, and we're both free to express ourselves in that one song.
Okay.
That's
Okay.
the difference for me between R&B and house music.
That's good. I like that. That's really good. I think now I'm going to express my own personal view, and this is not the view of WNUR Radio. I think that a lot of times now, especially with the music being, I can't even say edited now because it's not even an edit. It's like a re
And two
edit.
more re's.
Oh yeah, it's h- how do you create a sound? And now this is the producer side I'm asking from you because how do you create a sound that is not? Well, I heard this before.
Carefully, very carefully. Um, and that it speaks to the creativity. Technology, while it is a blessing, has made things extremely easy.
Well, accessible, not easy. It's
No, no,
accessible.
no. Easy.
Well, and I understand. I mean, again, I think because of the accessibility of it, for me personally, is that you know, because everybody wants to do it now.
And that's why I say it's easy.
But,
It's always been there.
but I don't think it's. That's why I say I don't think it's easy. I mean, because again, I could put an edit together and it could be total trash.
Now, what it sounds like in the end is different,
Right.
but
So, I
it
mean,
is a lot.
because they're making it accessible, it makes
So
it difficult.
no, I'm still gonna go with easy, and here's why. Because even maybe 10 years ago when I started, it took me maybe 2 days to make a drum pattern and to lay it down because I
Okay,
had to play it all manually.
got you.
Now, literally, I can get a drum pattern or a melody in my dreams or in a passing daydream, and I can put it down, record it just that first bar, and it's a matter of two or three buttons to loop it for
Yeah.
however many minutes I want.
Okay.
So it is easier. Um, the issue now is the creativity. It's best if you're going to do this to have an idea of where you're trying to go and leave your favorite song behind. It's
Got
easy to duplicate something, but it's better to create something.
you. Right. Well, I guess okay. So this is where I guess maybe I was saying it wrong. I mean, because you're right. You can. you can do it, and it's a lot easier to drag and draw and
Right.
loop, and understandable. I mean, but I guess maybe because I was trying to refer to quality over quantity, that
Right.
type of thing. Because again, I mean, for example, everybody knows Black Coffee sound. You know, 4 beats in, that's Black Coffee. I don't even have to hear the rest of the song to know
Exactly.
this is how he carries himself, and this is the range that you know he's gonna do. Or Clazel, you know exactly what he's gonna do when he releases a song or releases an edit. Okay, I know he touched it. Vega's another one. You know that they they get in there and as soon as you push the button, 4 beats in, yep, that's Vega, because
Right.
I know how he touched it. So I mean, the re-edits are fine as long as they produce a quality from it. You know, we I don't ever want to. I never knock no one's effort to try something, because you know this is always going to be a learning process if you're in it, no matter what.
Agreed.
So the first time that you do something should not sound the same 15 times down the line.
Agreed.
There's a there's a gradual process to improve and perfect. Um,
If you're not improving, then why are you doing this?
well, some people just do it.
Yeah, but after a while, that money dries up when you
Yeah,
start to sound the
it
same.
might not, because we are also in this realm where a lot of it can be based on popularity as well. So,
Ooh, that's another interview show.
oh yeah, yeah, because
Yeah.
yeah. Anyway,
Yeah, let's shout out the room.
matter of fact, let me take that one and put that right over there.
Yeah, let's
I'm not
shout
just
out the
talking
room
about.
on that note.
Yeah. So I mean, so again, you know, with with that part being probably, and unfortunately, that's the most plausible thing that a lot of people do certain things for. Not even just in DJing, whatever they for popularity. And there's a certain thing that we do,
Right,
um, that sometimes you look at who's getting the big push,
right, right,
and you go like, oh, okay, uh, I know that, yeah, okay. And
right.
we have like, for example, and again, this is no shot at anybody, but we have these celebrity DJs, and not even, and I won't even say celebrity in regards to, well, yeah, I gotta say celebrity. They're not. I mean, they were not really DJs to say in the beginning, but now all of a sudden, when again, everybody can get a board, everybody can get a computer.
Right,
Now I can DJ. You
right.
know, and and the hardest part about telling somebody or teaching somebody to do this process is the first thing you do is, I try to do it when people ask me, or they ask me to help them assist them. We don't touch this first. We need to go back, and I need to show you from scratch the real
Right.
stuff, and how to learn. Again, pitches, blends, and all this other stuff. But this is nice, and this is real good, but it doesn't give you the foundation of where you really need to be.
And that foundation is so key.
That's absolutely. It
That is
is
so
very.
key. And that is the one thing that is missing in that entire argument of controller versus vinyl versus CDJs. And I get it
I
from both
don't.
sides,
I
but
don't.
what
I don't. I don't.
nobody what no and I do understand it because the younger or the newer, let's
Yeah.
say that the old heads, so they call us, because I'm one of
Hmm.
them too, don't want to embrace technology. And no, it's not that. We just want, or at least for me, I want those coming up behind me to be prepared if the technology fails.
Right.
You should
Absolutely.
always be, I'll never forget sitting at a party when the first generation Serato came out. Everybody was excited. I still have it. My sister bought it for my birthday. I have never used it. It has been opened and used twice. And I didn't use it either time. Not because I didn't want to, but because I didn't want to be stuck. She bought it for me for my birthday. I went to a party maybe a week or two after, and the DJ was using his Serato and it froze. So we
Mm-hmm.
were sitting in this party for 45 minutes with no music
Wow.
because he could not function outside of that.
Yeah.
That's the part that is missing in the argument.
Got
Embrace all the technology you want. It makes it so much simpler for you when you have the foundation. But if
you.
you don't have the foundation, you're going to get caught. I can't even begin to tell you how many people I have watched get caught because they
Yeah.
don't have the foundation. And that's bad.
Yeah, it is.
I would rather listen to a DJ train wreck and sweat through their entire set, knowing that they are trying on their own, and this
Mm-hmm.
is the truth, than to cheat their way through a whole career.
I agree 100%. Okay, so we are at our hour. Um, so um, for everyone that's listening, um, please go to houseroyaltyrecords.com
Please
um,
and thank you.
and support DJ Patty Kane and all the work that she is putting out. Um, also, are you playing anywhere specifically, or are you just
I do have so far. I have a private gig that I'm playing at May 20th in Soho. I
okay?
will be in Tampa, Florida, May 28th, 7th, 8th,
Okay,
somewhere around there.
okay,
One of those dates so far. And I am what do you call it? Hosting a party April 2nd uh via Women on Decks
okay,
in Jersey. So please check those out.
okay.
Um,
If you have not friended Patty Kane on Facebook, please do.
yes,
Uh, and all the information that she is talking about, I'm, I know for sure she is going to let you know about. Uh, Again, it's my honor to always talk to you. You know, we
thank
we
you.
we
Thank you.
we,
I
we chop
appreciate
it up. We chop it up every now and then. However, the conversation has always been positive. It's always been supportive of each other, and like I said, it is truly an honor to even know you, much less to even know the talent that you put out there. So uh,
thank you. Thank you. Um,
I thank you very much.
quick shout out to everybody in the room. Please, I see you. I didn't overlook you. Just this was so good. Des, Soundproof, Jigsaw, Miss Melody, Derek, Marcus, Lee. Shout out to you, of course, my brother Rocky. Um, I can't see everybody, so I want to make sure I'm not forgetting anybody. Shout out to the Vintage House Show on 89.3. Uh,
Yeah,
Ladybug.
yeah.
I can't scroll through and see everybody, but yes, I see you and thank you, thank you, thank you for coming through.
All right. Well, we're again. I'd like to thank everybody for listening today. Um, and again, DJ Patty Kane, Vintage House Radio, 89.3 WNUR, uh, HouseRoyalty.com, HouseRoyaltyRecords.com,
Yes,
and please support as much as you can.
thank you,
So it is a great pleasure again. You have a blessed night, and
thank you,
everybody else.
thank you. You
Everybody
too.
else, thank you for listening in. All
All
right.
right,
Yeah.
bye.
Bye.